One thing I want to talk about is this gun. So this is a Cybergun Sportline M4. It is made of plastic. They call it nylon fiber reinforced polymer, but that's just a fancy word for really cool plastic. This is an entry-level gun. I don't do entry-level guns. I never have done entry-level guns. When I got into the game, I basically started out with a $300 ICS, which was their pro line model at the time. I bought this one for my son. He's 8, and this was his Christmas present, and he loves it. And up until this point, all he knows is Nerf. That's his only kind of similar sport he was into, besides football and all the other stuff he does. So I bought this gun for him as an entry-level gun. So basically, any of you that have children know that kids can be kind of fleeting with what sports they do. They can get invested in a sport, play it for a few months or 1 year, and then all of a sudden they'll move on to something else. So like a lot of parents, I don't like investing a lot of money into a sport until I know that the kid's going to stick with it for a while. So as much as I wanted to buy him a high-end gun, I would buy him a high-end gun. I would just love to use one of mine. I kind of wanted to give him ownership of it and give him his own gun. So I started kind of investigating, what gun I would buy for him. And I've never really looked into entry-level guns at all. Back when I started playing, there really weren't a lot of good entry-level models other than just Simas. So looked into it and looked into this one. It is polymer bodied. I wanted to get him a polymer body gun because they're lighter, and honestly, he just doesn't have the strength yet to hold the weapon up. He's not quite there. I think he'll be there soon because he does a lot of other sports. But I wanted to give him a lighter gun. So after a lot of looking into it, I decided on this one because it appeared to give a lot of bang for the buck. It appeared to give a lot of features for the money I spent. Now I bought it for $140. It was on Black Friday, so it was like discounted a certain percentage. It ended up being like $125 for this model. There were cheaper models out there, but they had like the traditional M4 kind of plastic grip, and I wanted this one because it had an aluminum rail and came with these rail covers. And I kind of wanted to, if my son wanted to kind of mount stuff on it, I wanted to get, kind of show him how rails worked and everything. So I wanted to give him that option. Also came with this cheap vertical forehand grip, which he thinks is cool. That's why it's on there right now. So let's just go over the features real quick on this gun. It is a Cybergun M4, but Cybergun isn't a real company as far as they don't manufacture things. They just rebrand things. So it has Colt trades on it right there. And the only reason the Colt's trades are there is because Cybergun paid for them. Other than that, as far as who makes this gun, the gearbox is by S&T. As far as the exterior, the actual body of it, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's the same body that Lancer Tactical uses, and it's the same body that a lot of the cheaper Cyma guns use. As far as what factory it comes out of in China, couldn't tell you. And that's the thing with a lot of these cheaper airsoft guns. They all originate from kind of the same couple of factories in China as far as the bodies go, and then different people just add different stuff to them. Different manufacturers like Cybergun or Lancer Tactical or whoever, and they sell them here on the U.S. market. So you're going to see a lot of commonality in parts as you look across these different things. In fact, when I was looking into this gun, I was looking into the reviews of different cheap models, entry-level guns, and I'm like, this is, looking at the gearbox, I'm like, this is the same gearbox in all these guns. And so to some degree, it doesn't really matter which one you buy. It's whichever one is on sale. Talking about the exteriors real quick. Aluminum rail system, I like. Outer barrel appears to be made of aluminum. I like that. As far as metal goes, that's about it. Other than this dust cover here, everything else, and the fake bolt, which is really flimsy, everything else on this gun is this polymer, which is fine. I don't expect this gun to take up with a lot of abuse, and I wouldn't expect to drop it off like from 20 feet onto concrete and expect it to survive. Not going to happen. But I think it's going to hold up for what my son's going to put it through. Stock tube isn't metal. It's plastic. I would prefer this buffer tube to be metal if I had my choice and it costs a few more bucks, a metal buck or two would be preferred, because that is a common point. You know, if kids take a header into the dirt, that's a common breakage point here. So I don't, you know, it appears to be a good polymer. I remember when polymer guns first came out, ICS's polymer guns in particular were really crappy. They were the plastic bodies were just trash. They've improved them since then. All the companies have with the fiber resin. But this one appears to be pretty good. Do I expect it to hold up with a ton of abuse? No. Other things it came with: rear sight, lock and rear sight. That's the same sight you're going to see on any Lancer Tactical that I've seen online. Crane stock can hold a big battery. It's cheap. It's as cheap as all the other airsoft crane stocks. Does hold the battery pretty well. It's got this cool little. This comes off. This opens up. There's your battery. I think right now I got to tighten in here. Let's see what the hell I got. Titan 2600 mAh LiPo 11.1, and it ran that 11.1 LiPo just fine. A little bit I was shooting it. Stock has a QD mount on it. One complaint: it does not have a single point sling mount or any sling mount at all down here, which is kind of where I prefer them. Selector switch is pretty solid. Overall, it's okay. It's nothing stellar. It's an entry-level gun. The nice thing about the gun is the quality of the gearbox. It's this S&T Gen 3. It's got a micro-switch trigger, which really isn't that uncommon anymore. Micro-switch triggers kind of remind me of, like, you know, cars when they have commercials and it's like power windows. Well, yeah, they all come with power windows now. Yeah, most airsoft guns are coming with micro-switch triggers now. It comes with a MOSFET, steel gears, full teeth steel piston, which is kind of cool. And it's got a quick change spring system, which is awesome. Just a lot of good internals. One thing I noticed on the internals that was kind of crappy was the nozzle. The air nozzle doesn't have an O-ring in it. It looks kind of cheap plastic. Not that impressed with it. Also, the bearings, the spring guide looks kind of cheap. Is the spring guide really that big a deal? No. But if I were ever to open the gearbox, I'd definitely change out the spring guide. Gears and everything else look great. Piston head looks good. Ported piston head. The motor running an 11.1 LiPo in it seems to run well. Chronoed about 386, give or take 5. When I first shot it, it was chronoing about 375, give or take 10. And I noticed the bucking and the hop up was kind of cheap, so I switched to a guard to clear bucking. That bumped it up to 386 with a variance of 5. I imagine if I replace the air nozzle with a O-ring air nozzle, any of them, that would settle down probably to a variance of 1 or 2. I imagine. Is it worth doing right now? No, because honestly, my son's not going to care. He doesn't. Right now, all he's going to do is plink in the backyard with it, maybe do some drills, have some fun. He's not hitting the field anytime soon. Other than that, the hop-up unit is, I see right there, it's this red plastic hop-up unit. When I first looked at it, it was kind of cheap. I'm like, this thing doesn't look that good. I'm going to replace that pretty early. But when I took it out of the gun to replace the bucking, I kind of handling it, it felt pretty stiff, felt pretty solid. The adjustments were real solid. Didn't seem to move, didn't seem to want to wander. I thought, well, what the hell, we'll give it a chance. And it hops. I only went up to 0.28 gram BBs, but it overhops them just fine. So I'm going to just let my son run with it and see what happens. I've no intention of changing that for him anytime soon. Once again, chronoed about 386, which, you know, from out of the box, pretty good. Entry-level gun, entry-level motor, shooting 386. Doesn't seem to be struggling to do it. So all in all, you know, for the price, and I've seen these, you know, with different furniture as low as like $110, $105. Once again, this was about $125. Great gun, and I think my son's gonna love it. I would highly recommend to anybody that wants any of their kids to get into airsoft. You don't want to spend too much money. Look into one of these, and they come under a lot of different names and titles. Like I said, this one is the the Cybergun sport line, but I've seen them under the Cyma brand. And I believe the Lancer, everybody likes to talk shit about Lancer, but you know, Lancers are entry-level guns. They're designed to be entry-level. So all your Lancer Tactical Gen 2s are basically this. And I'm having a hard time finding any fault with it. Comes with a high cap. Fits, shoots, works good. So that's my quick 2-cent review on the Cybergun Sportline M4. Still making videos, obviously. I do sell merch. If you like my channel, you want to support my content, I don't make any money from YouTube. I make like, I don't know, $20, $30 a month. It's going up slowly, incrementally, but there's not a lot of money for YouTube channels in YouTube for airsoft channels. It's just not. Lots of money for little kids playing with toys, but not a lot of money for YouTube guys because there's just not, or airsoft guys, there's not a lot of people watching. So I do this because I love it. I do it because I like putting the information out there. I like trying to bridge the gap between real world and airsoft and give airsoft guys some real world stuff that works. So the small amount of it that does transfer over, I like sharing that with them. Having said that, I don't work for free, and it's nice. I built a merch store in this last year and started selling some patches and stuff. And I plug this at the end of our video. There's my patches. They come in, I got blue, gray scale, and I got red. I think these are like $6 on the web store. You can find that at unsavorytees.com. Just go over to Unsavory Army on that website and scroll down to Gunfather Milsim. You'll see all that stuff on their channel, their merch store. You can also look at the banner of my channel in the lower right part of the banner. There's a little link to it. I think there's a link in the description somewhere on the YouTube channel. Also selling Gunfather Milsim t-shirts, which I'm wearing here. Finally settled on a design. Looks like that. American flag. There's the back. So selling these. Also selling slings there in the other room. So you can look at any number of videos and see me using my 1-point bungee slings. It's my design. It's a good sling. Pretty reasonably priced. I believe they're $35 and $40 depending if you want the 1-point or the 2-point. And for a limited time, just go there, buy a sling or a t-shirt, and under the coupon code just put free patch, all caps, no space, and I'll throw in a free Gunfather Milsim patch. That's all I got from everybody. Thanks for watching, and it is the holidays, so hope everybody had a good Christmas and have a happy New Year. And thanks for watching.